Okay, so hello, and this is our first assignment for the week, and this is how it's going to look like once we download in our Google Classroom. And we have the data sheet, then we have the questions, right? So these are the questions we are supposed to answer. And if you remember from the short video that we have on how to answer the course questions, right? The first thing we are supposed to do is to duplicate or create a copy of the data sheet, right? So we right click, go to move or copy, then we select move to end, right? So to the copy that we are going to create will be placed after these two files, right? At the end of them, right? So then we select create a copy, click on OK, and then realize it is at the end of these two documents, right? So this is what we created. All right, so we now have a copy, and this is the original one. So we don't touch the original one, we just go to the copy. The first question says that the questions are in sections, right? The first section has to do with the filtering and sorting activity, right? So we'll create one sheet for the filtering and sorting, then we create another sheet to answer these questions, right? So this is what we do. This is the first one that we created, right? So we can start the filtering on this one. Then later I'll show you how to continue to the next one. All right. So from here, we just align our uh, columns, right? We align them nicely. Good. Then we insert another row at the very top. And then we highlight from column A1 all the way to J1, and we merge and center them, right? Then we write in here, this is a Spotify data, right? So we just write Spotify like that. Then we increase the font size to something like 26. Let's see, uh, 26. I think 26 is fine. Then you see that the font is not really looking like that of Spotify, right? So we can go to the options and look for fonts that may look like Spotify. I think this guy, Aptos. I don't know if you would have it on yours, but I have it here, right? This looks like the Spotify logo, right? Then I'll just change my fill color for my cell, make it black, right? Then I go to my font color, then I'll change it to lemon green, right? To make it look just like Spotify, right? Okay. Then my column headers too, I can change their background or their fill color, something like this, right? This looks nice. Okay, then to answer our questions, the filtering says filter the data set to show only the Afrobeat songs. Maybe in Africa, so we're interested in Afrobeat, right? So to do our filtering, if you remember, we just select our column headers, then we go to data, then we come to filter, then we have our filtering applied on all our column headers, right? Yeah. From here, we can now filter. So the filtering says we are filtering for all Afrobeat songs. So we come to the genre, right? And then we filter for only the Afrobeat, right? Good. Then we click on OK. Now we have only Afrobeats. That's a lot of records. Good. Then we go to the next one says filter for the data. I'll leave these ones to you, right? So I only do one of each and leave the rest to you. Good. So after we do our filtering, right? I want us to change the name of our worksheet, right? Change the two, so double click, then you change the two and write the filtered. Let's write filtered, right? That means this sheet contains only the filtered one. So you continue filtering. There are about two more, right? We've done the first one, there are about two more. You continue and filter out, right? Good. Um, so this filter document, we also create a copy of it, right? We create a copy of the filter document. So we right click, go to move or copy, move to end, check create a copy, and then okay. So now we have the filter and now have it two times, right? So we double click again on this one. Let's clean all this name. It's too long. Clean all that. And then let's just call it, mm, let's say something like analyzed or something like that, right? So we've analyzed this one. We are going to analyze this ones, right? So just call it analyzed. Good. So we have Spotify data filtered, Spotify data analyzed. Good. Now when you come here, we have to now remove the filtering. Okay. So if you do about three filterings, you have to remove all of them, right? So to remove them, you just come realize that the final shape will be on all the ones that you filtered. If there's a final shape on it, it means you've applied a filter to it, right? So just click and then just go and select all again and click on OK. Now the filtering is gone, right? Okay. The next question says we should count, right? Remember we did count. We said count all count text, whether it's text or number, it will count all of them in a cell, right? And then we said that the count only counts for cells that contain numerical data, right? Okay, so the first question says we should use the count to find how many songs have popularity scores, right? So let's look at it. How many of the songs have popularity scores? So we can just come here and be like number of, right? So I know for short number of popularity scores. Number of popularity scores. Good. Then we come to this cell. I don't want this one to have this color, so I go to home. Fill color, just make it white again. Good. Then I come here, my equal to, then I start typing my count. I sit in my drop down, I double click. Then we are dealing with the popularity scores, right? So I'll click on the, now realize that this data is a whole lot, right? A whole lot, about 500 of them. So we cannot be selecting and be going, it will be just a waste of time, right? It will just be a waste of time. So what we do is we just select the first cell in the column, right? Select the first one. Then on our keyboard, we press and hold down the shift and the control, right? There's a shift and then there's a control key. We hold them down at the same time. We press them at the same time, hold it down, don't release, right? Then on our keyboard, the arrow key is the down arrow, right? We select the down arrow. Realize that when we press and hold down the shift and select the down arrow, it selects everything in that column. So if there are more data here, it will select everything, right? So that's the shortcut for selecting everything in a column, right? Press and hold down the shift and then the control keys and then you press the down arrow. Then it gets everything in the column for you, right? So once you do that, you close our brackets, press on enter, and realize that you have 500 popularity scores. That means every track here has a popularity score, right? Okay, so I'm sure the ones I'll give to you, I'll just take some of the popularity scores out, right? So that you be able to use them to just find my answers for me. I'll just take some of them out so that when you count, you'll not get 500. Okay, all right. Then I'll leave this section, then come to the min max. I'll just do the max, I'll leave the min. So the max is, we are finding the maximum number of stream songs, right? So if you look at our data, the stream songs are in the millions. So if you see 103, it means 103 million, right? 97 million and so on and so forth. Okay, so we come to the most streamed, right? Most streamed, and that should be equal to the max, right? Double click on max. Then we come to the stream songs again. We select the first item. Then on our keyboard, we press and hold down the shift and press the down arrow key to select the entire column, right? We close our bracket, press on enter, and then the song with the most streams, right? So, okay, so let's change this heading. This misleading, right? Let's call this highest number of streams, highest number of streams, right? Highest number of streams is 104 million streams, 148 million streams. All right. Then from there, we go to the next section. We are now done with the average and the sum. So I just do the average. Should I do the average? Okay. So I'll do the average since the average popularity of all the songs, right? So every songs, what's the average of their how do you call it, their popularity, right? On average, right? On average, what is their popularity score, right? So average popularity. Oh my god, average popularity, right? Then we do equal to, then we start typing average, we double click on average, and then this time we are dealing with popularity column. So we select the first item, press and hold down Control and Shift, and then our arrow key, down arrow, right? Everything gets selected. We close our bracket, press on enter, and then we have our highest number on average, right? The average popularity for all the songs. Okay. Once you are done, the next question says, what insights can a music marketer gain from this data set, right? So that one is no, you are not going to do anything. You are just going to write for me just something small, right? So you just go to the insert, then you grab a text box, draw it out here, right? And then you just write for me. So a marketer can gain useful insights like, uh, for example, so you can get something like the most popular genre, right, of songs to market, right? So if you are trying to be a market some songs, you know that the most popular genre will influence your decision, right? Then, uh, apart from that, you can also gain the most loved artists, right? From here, you can see the artists that people like the most, right? So that when you're going to market, you select those people to market their songs, right? So you just list them out here for me. So if you know that we can draw so much insight, right? You just list them out here. You can do online research, right? Just to try and get some insights for this, right? Okay. All right. So that is just about today's assignment, right? So I'm looking forward to your submissions and then I'll grade them